Good morning. Good morning, my darlings. Good morning. Hey, sister. Good morning. Good morning, Beatrice. Beatrice, I saw your text message. I have not been able to secure one yet, so just hold on for me, okay? Working on it. Good morning, Tracy. Hartford. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Mornings with Mama, where authenticity lives and thrives to create a space of growth, healing, and joy. I am your host, Andrea Lawful Sanders, and each day we will cover the topics that are informative and engaging while learning from each other. Good morning to each and every one of you. I absolutely love June. Right around the 21st or the 24th of June, I'm usually found on a flight flying somewhere, driving somewhere. And this year, in this 26th year of our Lord, June 2026, I am going to take a bunch of people to the beach and we're going to have a fantastic time on Monday. Monday is the officially declared mother's holiday, honey, and we're going to have a wonderful time. Now, there's going to be an email sent to all of you that are on the bus to let you know exactly where to meet so that we can get on the bus to go to the beach. That's different. I'm also at some point between today and tomorrow, I'm going to have to call Rehoboth and see if there's a space where we can all congregate because there's a lot of us, or if we're just going to be in different parts of the beach, and then some you guys will have to find me along the way if I can give you markers on where to find me. But I am really looking forward to this. It's Love is Wednesday. I have some future guests coming up. One of them, well, a couple of them will be men. I want to have dialogue with our brothers. In the last several days, I have been having conversations with sisters who are just like, these men, what's happening? They're not engaged. They're not interested. What are we missing from them? And so, brothers, if you're on here, Bobby Carr, you may not be single. Even if you're not single, I want you to talk to me about what is it that you're looking for in a mate. What does that person, who is that person to you? Because I have said to my sisters, we have to go beyond our education. We have to go beyond owning our own house and having our own car to drive. I really believe it's a character. It's a character that there's certain things that these men are looking for. They're seeking, just like we seek certain things, they're seeking certain things. And we can't make them like what they don't like or want what they don't want. So I would love to hear from the brothers around what is it that you really truly want. So I put up a post yesterday. You know, there was 5,000 women on there. So finally the brothers came on and said, this is a post for brothers, but the women are talking. What's happening here? So the brothers are being quiet. Give them the space. Good morning, Jacinia. Good morning. Give them the space to have the dialogue. I had dinner with two great friends yesterday, and we began talking about this very thing. And the one friend said both of them, were found mates. Well, the one, she spoke of how interested the man was and the things he was doing that let her know he was interested. Because when a man is interested, he goes beyond let's just go out and have dinner. He plans things. He wants to make sure you're okay. For instance, I think Mr. and I started dating in 2010. 2012, he started to realize that I just really liked going, to different places. And so he said, where's one place you want to go? And I said, California. And that man, without saying a word to me, went and planned, I think it was a 9, 10, 11-day trip for us to go to California. We stayed in 3 different hotels because he had me up and down from San Diego all the way up to Santa Barbara. We stayed in these different places. I think we spent a night on a ship That's a dock ship, and I forget the name of it now, and I'm sure he's listening. And then when we went to pick up the rental car, the guy was like, "Do you want the Toyota Corolla or the Mustang?" And he comes over to me and says, "Well, which one?" I said, "What do you think?" And we dropped the top on that Mustang, and we were up and down the Pacific Coast Highway. That showed me he cared. I didn't have to and listen, not a dime. Not a dime came out of my pocket. He said, "I want you to enjoy yourself." So that told me he was interested, right? It went way beyond, let's just go out and have dinner or go hang out in the park. Now, we also, that was a nice big trip, but there were also times where we just sat down and had lunch. Or he loves diners. We go to a diner and we enjoy and have ourselves. Or we would just get in the car and just drive. And wherever we ended up, every Memorial Day for years, we would just get in the car and say, "Point the car, baby," and off we went. And wherever it has to be someone who really cares and wants to be a part of who you are. And we didn't have, I wasn't talking to him about where's this thing going. For the entire 5 years that I dated Mr., I stayed in my own damn house. I didn't move in with him. And he was, I think he was looking at me going, "You just different." Came and visited him. He came and visited me, and there was just such a respect there. And the way he treated me made my sons feel so comfortable, because at that point, I think we were 3, 4 years in, when the older son walked to him and said, "I can see that you're going to take care of my mother. So I'm going to take a risk and leave the state and go work." He was working for Apple, and Apple sent him out to Texas. And he told me, he said, "The only reason why I'm moving that far away is because I know Mr. will take good care of you." Such a good indication of what a wonderful person he is. It's Love is Wednesday. So we're going to talk about these things. And so, even so, we dated for 5 years. Next week we'll be married for 11 years. So it's been 16 years that we've been a couple. And when I was asked last night, what is the one thing that happened in our marriage, in our relationship, that I didn't expect? I told them, quite honestly, I did not expect him to be so consistent. He's consistently loving. He's consistently making sure that I am okay. When I am out on the streets walking and I'm not with him, I can't tell you how many times men will stop me and say, "You are clearly well loved. You don't look like you want a thing, need a thing." Oh, over and over again. I've been in rooms with him. We've gone to places together. He doesn't cling to me. He and I could be in the same room and I don't see him all night long. He's like, "Go do what you do. I'll be fine." He is. And again, you have to know what works for you, which is why Sharia and I keep saying, know who you are before you walk into a relationship. Because if you want A and he wants Z, then it's not going to work. Mr. and I have our own paths. He loves building underwater robots. He is all about engineering. He's all about, so he has a whole life beyond our being married and our relationship. You know what I do. And so, I'll get up and go and say, "Babe, we stayed in the Queen Mary in California one night." He just texted me. We will get up. I'll get up and say, "Babe, I love to travel. I'm out." So much so that grandson number one, Mr. Professor, when he's in school, I went to a thing one winter, and it's like, "What is your grandma?" He calls me BB. "What's BB known for?" He said, "BB is never home. She's always traveling." So we work it out. We work it out. But that's us. You hear Cherie Syfax talk about what she and Tracy does, how they navigate it and how that manages. But you cannot look at individuals' relationships and think that that's how your relationship is going to be. It all depends on who you are, what your needs are, all of it. If you don't know yourself and you're looking for somebody to complete you, you're screwed. I'm just telling you. Nobody on earth is going to complete somebody else. And that goes from men to women. If you're looking for somebody to take care of you and complete you, they are a valuable part of your life. if and our family is so close. I'm about to put up another video because I saw one from 2023 with my sisters in the car, my father. Hello there, America. How close we are. And it reminded me of something. So I recorded something I'm going to post a little bit later. But how is your family dynamic? Are your family members cool? My family loves Mr. Dirty Draws. They can't even get over how wonderful and kind he is. And so when he got sick, they showed up. If I'm sick, they show up. When I got sick in February, oh, here they come. All right, what do you need? You know, my sisters, everybody's calling, talking. My father, we're really tight knit, really, really tight knit. Show up for the grandchildren, show up for the great grandchildren. My sisters help to raise their nieces and nephews. They, what do you need? What we're gonna do? We're just really tight knit. So you need to look at also your family dynamic. How would your family dynamic work with that person's family dynamic? Hey, Cherry. Cherry says, I love the question you pose to the men and encouraging the women to give them space. Yes, 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 yes. And I'm praying that the men will take the opportunity to speak to what matters to them. Good morning, my darling Cherry. I'm still half asleep, child. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I'm going to read my morning motivation. Cherry will be on at 7. Joel Wilson will be on at 7:30, and we'll go from there. But figure it out, y'all. But figure it out. Don't sit around and go, well, he don't do, and he just don't figure. Well, who are you? What is your whole self or partial self that you're bringing to the table? As Cherry said last night, what is it that you're willing to give in this relationship? We tend to, as women, this is what I want. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. But what are you willing to give in the relationship? Right. When my husband and I became a couple and I watched him, he's an only child for his mother. And so he likes his time. There time where he just kind of disappears up on the third floor and he's tinkering around with his stuff. And I used to go, you don't want to spend, and then I thought about it. He just needs time to breathe. To breathe. So I let him be. Go on, do you. He'll go to concerts I don't want to go to. I go to concert he doesn't want to go to, and then there are concerts that we both want to go to. And that is okay. But babies, girls and boys, girls particularly, pay attention. What are you bringing? What are you bringing? What is it that the man wants? Is he seeking peace and you a Rottweiler? It doesn't work. It absolutely does not work, right? Um, there you go, Laverne. From my experience in marriage, both must have emotional regulation. Men struggle with that, but again, you're speaking for the man. I want them to tell me what is it that they need and want and are seeking. We have thoughts and opinions about them. I need them to speak to us. I need us to and let them speak to us, because I believe the men do. One man said he had gotten married and was divorced and was out there looking. He was on a dating app site and he was doing 25 dates a month and he was all over the place. But there was this one woman that when he got back from his date, he would look to see if he missed a call from her, and he knew there was something about her. And so he continued to explore the relationship with her. That's the woman he's married to today. So what is it that you are? What's the pheromone that you're exhibiting? And there's so many women who are successful, the 5 degrees, the house, the car, the making the money, and no man. That tells me, because if you don't want to, you'll be like, well, there's something wrong with the men. Why aren't you looking and being introspective and saying, what is it that I am giving off as a woman, as a sister? Even with all my accolades, are you nasty? Do you speak to people in a terrible way? Right? Are you unkind? These are the things people look for when they want to bring you to their mama, papa, and maybe they have children. At our tender ages, people have children. How do you treat your children, women? So I need us to, yes. Cherry says men have desires too. They want love too. Absolutely. 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 Let's see this. I know this is a man. He says, a man is that which makes a woman feel like a woman. A woman is that which makes a man feel like a man. Beyond that, it's all individual. Hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah. I am also very mindful not to, when, my husband, there are times when I disagree and I want to roll my eyes, but I'm very mindful to let him be who he is naturally, just naturally. He lets me be who I am naturally. I can be a whole lot. And my husband gets, he like, anybody come take you, they're gonna bring you back. When we before we got married, the day that we were getting married, my mother came in our suite, the bridal suite, and he was gone. He was somewhere else. And she said, "That is an amazing human being. You are to treat him well, take very good care of him because he loves your drawers. And we're not gonna let him give you back. We don't want you back." Marguerite says, "Our thoughts and opinions about men are often on the wrong track. Let them speak." It's true. It is absolutely true because we're coming from the spaces of our individual emotions as women, and we just don't let the brothers get air. We just don't. Um, do you want to call? EC, you want to call? You can call. I'm going to put the phone number in here, 215, and I'd love to talk to you anyway, 400-0146. Pick up the phone and call. The phone is right here. You can call. Laura says Mova is a damn handful with her foolishness. I'm telling you, my husband and I, we've gone on vacation, and I just I climbed a waterfall. He said, "Babe, where is your health insurance card?" Because he understands that there's a daredevil in me. When I got into F-16 and broke the sound barrier with the United States Air Force, and my sons were like, "Are you shit? What? What? What are you doing?" And he calmed my sons and said, "This is your mother. If anything happens to her, you have my promise that I will take care of you and make sure you're okay." We were not married at that point. See what I'm saying? So my sons actually love him, right? Oh, Mister, I don't know Mister on here right now. Angela says, "I am in 24 years of marriage. We have been near divorce, talked with therapists, and talked to each other. What we have discovered is matters how you talk to each other and give grace to yourself." Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I'm waiting for. Wait, let me just make sure. What I do with the phone though? Telling the man to call. There you go. I'm telling the man to call and let me see what else is happening here. All right, he's getting his headphones. He's going to call him. I can't wait. He's going to call. Let's see. Let me see. All right. So I'm going to read this while I am waiting for him to call in, cuz let me tell you, people are crazy out here. Seriously. This foolishness right here is why I usually let my husband handle the servicing of Thor. Good morning. Welcome to Mornings with Morva. How may I help you?
Hey, this is ECBST6 calling in, also known as Mike.
Hi, Mike. You emailed me, and it was so good to hear from you and your wife. Talk to me. Your
Sorry, I was adjusting volume and whatnot. I broke up there for a second, probably, but
yes, you did.
Fine now.
Okay.
Yeah, she's standing right behind me. She was like, "Oh, hey, you weren't watching, but she was just asking to hear from the men in the audience." And I was like, "Okay, let me go see what's up."
So, what is it that you look for in a mate, Mike?
Well, and again, that's why I said it's individual, because in our specific case, and like I started saying, I've got stories that I can tell you that go back years and years and years. My friends used to make up nicknames for my girlfriends because I was so bad at it. But in the case of my wife, the biggest thing in our relationship, and we've been together for some 22 years now, we've been married. Mm-hmm. And the biggest thing that we've got going is that she needs to be more participatory in the whole. There is a big disparity in the roles in our relationship, in that to a great degree it feels like I take on the adult, the parent role, to her subordinate child role. And we were just, as a matter of fact, talking this morning about issues related to self-confidence very specifically. And it's very, very difficult to have a whole relationship when one person in these regards seems to be doing all the heavy lifting versus the other person not.
So do you feel you're doing the heavy lifting?
Do I feel what? I'm sorry.
Do you feel you're doing the heavy lifting?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And this is also, and she'll tell you she was on the line, but I think she's coming back on now. She'll tell you, this has gone on through all sorts of different angles of support and encouragement, up to and including the various mental health professionals, and that's one of the things that I've used as my own barometer as well. And there have been many, many occasions where they have said to her individually, as well as with both of us in a group setting, that I'm saying the right things. I do have the right attitude. I am being supportive. I am acknowledging and recognizing her and trying to be encouraging and supportive. So I don't think I'm doing anything in particular wrong, but being a man, that's also one of my tasks. I have to watch out for that. Can't let the man pig win.
Where is she?
I'm right here.
Okay.
I'm right here.
All right. So you're hearing him. What are your thoughts around what he has said? Because you guys have been together for 22 years.
Yeah. Wait, I'm going to walk away since it's just some static going on.
Okay.
Yes. It's without going into too much detail, a couple of weeks ago, last week, we were talking about parents and raising their kids to be adults. And it all goes back to childhood, and I don't feel my parents raised me to be an adult. They didn't want me to learn to drive because they were more than happy to taxi me around. Even at the age where I should have been the one taxiing them around and helping out as a daughter, doing grocery shopping for them, doing the adult things. But they were just more than happy to say, oh, Lizzie will always take care of you, which is great. I get it. That's fine. But they didn't raise me to be a parent, for example. They were too happy keeping me the child. And I think that has just stunted me.
Yeah. I so appreciate your honesty in this, because this happens way more than people realize. So when you and Mike met and you were like, well, all right, we're going to go get married, Mike had no idea on certain levels how deeply this ran. Am I right in assuming that?
Correct. Yes. Absolutely correct. Yes.
And so when it began to show itself, because can you imagine, well, God bless the both of you that you're still married after 22 years, but I can only imagine what that has, the traumas that has caused, because a marriage is two people coming. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't like that at first either, of course. And this is the part of it that I have to acknowledge for myself. I do have a very, very strong personality, and that can have an effect on someone with a weaker personality.
Do you think that you chose someone who you thought would be easier for you to work with and navigate with because of your strong personality, Mike?
Literally, when we got married, we drove cross country from Pittsburgh to Vegas to go get married. No alcohol involved, but literally one of the things that we did along the way was to establish the wife is the navigator. She is sitting in the passenger seat. She's in charge of the route. She's in charge of the map. She's watching all the navigation duties. So this was before Google Maps.
Yes. Yeah. MapQuest. Yes.
GPS.
Yes.
We did it old school.
Yeah. What has kept you guys married? Because I can hear and sense the challenges. We could talk for hours around this. What has kept you married?
I'm sorry, you broke up there. What was that?
What has kept you married despite the challenges that you've had?
I'll let you answer that first. I think humor.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of the things. There are overwhelming mutual interest in the things that make life enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both love to travel.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've briefly mentioned before the last trip we took was France for the 80th D-Day anniversary, and we spent a week in Cannes and Paris. Before that was London for the Guy Fawkes celebration that one weekend. Then there was the 2 weeks we went to Italy and Greece and Turkey.
Right.
And,
so a part of yourself is traveling together and enjoying vacationing. What happens when you're not vacationing and you're home? You're like at home and you're dealing with these challenges. Because to her point, Mike, she wasn't taught to be an adult. It's amazing how
right. Yeah, I try very, very hard to support and encourage her in any way possible and try any method that might be helpful. And even just around the house, like I may have mentioned recently about, because it's springtime, the garden takes up all kinds of interest between both of us, etc. Things like that. But yeah, those things, every simple everyday things, very challenging.
Yeah, wow. I'd like to invite you. Go ahead, wife.
Oh, I was just going to say, yes, he will try to help me. And sometimes I get a little defensive because it's being kind of like of a childish mind.
That's one of the things that makes it really rough, is so much of the onus then still falls upon me, because I do have to take the adult role to feel out issues like that and try and help her figure out how to deal with them when she doesn't have so much of a capacity to even recognize them in herself. I get it when I'm a man pig. I'm happy to admit it. I love admitting it when I'm a man pig, because, that's me trying to make myself better.
Yeah. Yeah, this is such a great conversation. Thank you for calling in. How did you find this platform, Mike?
You came up through the auspices of the holy algorithm one day. I don't know what it was, where the mathematics added up, and you popped up in front of me, and I started watching your show, and I thought to myself, you know what? This is the kind of people that are talking ostensibly, openly, and forthright like I like. It's a smaller audience, which I like, and it's local relatively. You guys are basically over in Philadelphia. We're here in Pittsburgh. We're the Blue Islands in the Sea of Maga Red over in Pennsylvania.
Yes. Continue to listen. I'm going to reserve the right to bring you back on a Wednesday when we do our Love Is, so we can have more of a conversation. Thank you both so much.
And you've got at least my email. I know if you
I do.
Look, if you want to, you can just hit me up with an email.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mike. Mike, what's your wife's name? Liz. Thank you so much, Mike and Liz. Liz, let me say this to you. Liz, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm here.
I was raised by Jamaican parents, and similar things happened. While they wanted us to have autonomy, our father in particular kept saying things like, you can't do that. You're going to need somebody to tell you what to do, and you got to move. And if my sister is still listening, she will tell you. I have to say this to you. It was just before mommy died, maybe 10 years before mommy died. I literally blew up on my father and was like, yo, I am a grown woman. I finished school, raised children, did all the things. I had to fight for my autonomy. And so the fact that you were raised in a way where your parents did everything for you, listen. I literally went in the other direction. Like, we're not doing this. I need to know how to open up a checking account. I need to know. And I started really young, just pushing back. Right. So that was good. So you're going to be all right. You just have to. Are your parents still alive, Liz?
Yes, they are.
Oh my God. How old are they now?
Yeah, not doing so good. 79.
Wow. Have you had the conversation with them about the way they raised you and how you felt hampered by it? And what are you?
No, and that just, Mike is encouraging me to do that, but that is just, I am just not confrontational. Now, my older sister, she's the opposite. She's a little way out there, but yes, she, I don't know if she's directly confronted it, but she...
Overbearing is a word for her sister.
Oh, Mike!
she did push back.
She has a no-kidding cuckold for a husband who brings her medications in a little white paper cup.
No, don't tell too much.
Well, we don't know who she is, so it's okay.
Watch this. She doesn't have an open enough mind to watch this show.
Okay. Yeah, growing up, I watched my sister do the pushback, and I think that just traumatized me to go in the opposite direction because I'm the peacekeeper. And it was discord, scary. So
I see. Because I have sisters who are the peacekeeper. I'm like, Andrea, you can't say that. What? I'm saying it, that I'm doing it.
I've got filters, but I have been well known to not entirely utilize them like I should.
Mike, what made you choose Liz, though? What was it about Liz that made you choose her?
I swear to God, the first time we got both of our families together for a big Thanksgiving, that question came up, and I said, it was just sex at first. But no, she worked in the home office where I was working at the client's location on an IT project, and I was dating around a little bit at the time and was actually trying to avoid it because we worked at the same place and I had been through that before. But then everything crashed and burned with the company we were working for. So I was like, hey, want to go grab some dinner?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, it was, and one of the ones that I'll tell you really quick because we really should save it for when you've got more time, was when we're laying in bed and she's on the phone with her sister, and all of a sudden she's like, wait, I have to call you back. He just gave me a box that's wrapped in wrapping paper and it's a ring-shaped box, and she finally unwraps it and opens it up and there's a Powerpuff Girls watch inside.
Mike, you are terrible.
I still have the watch.
And you still have the watch. Yeah. I remember the one on my first date with my husband, he gave me a little devil that says hot stuff. I guess he was trying to tell me I was hot. I still have it. And the day we were getting married, our two little nieces walked down the aisle with the hot stuff, and he started to cry. They were cracking up. Mike, they said, you are hilarious.
Wait until you get the chance to hear it. Now, and I'll warn you, again, we need more time.
Yeah, that's fine.
The unabridged version of the story of Interplanet Janet takes a good 3.5 hours to tell. But that one is an amazing story that involves a little white teddy bear holding a heart.
Oh, I love you all. Thank you so much for joining this audience. Thank you for finding us and staying with us.
Pleasure, I'm sure.
Yeah,
and the encouragement.
Oh, you are so welcome, my darling. So listen, in another couple of Wednesdays, I'd like to have you on with Cherie. Absolutely. And we'll share. Okay, I'll send you the link to get into the show. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye, darlings. Bye-bye. Bye, Liz. Bye-bye. See, that's what I'm talking about. That level of honesty. We keep thinking it's sunshine and roses, and people get together for a myriad of reasons. Donna says, I like Mike and Liz. Oh, but you get to hear. I think Bobby Carr wrote something. I'm going to go back up and find it. Hold on, Bobby. I saw your comment. Essence says, I love that Liz was honest with us on the show. Thanks, Andrea. I saw that part. Marguerite says, my parents were happy to keep me a child up until the day they closed their eyes. Had to fight for my independence, which backfired on me. I became the leader of my married home, unfortunately. Wow. Yes. April says, it just goes to show you how people in love work through their strengths and weaknesses. Vulnerability is a key. Oh, Mike says, thank you. Glad we were good for the show. I love it. I'm trying to find Bobby Carr's comment. Bobby Carr said, I had to get over falling for one for what maybe was body looking. However, in a relationship, trust and honesty are very important. But for several years, I have found out that I don't know what you're saying, Bobby. write some more for me so that I can understand what you're saying. Joanne Kemp says, my parents helped me even though through my adulthood, but I don't think they stunted my maturity. In fact, it's been the opposite. I don't like to be dominated. Yes, Lord. Cha.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on? Hello, everyone.
Listen. So ECBCST, who is Mike, we were talking about, as I was asking men to chime in and tell us what they think, because women, we always have a whole lot to say. And I said, Mike, can you call in? Mike called in with his wife, Liz, and we had the best conversation. Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
That is wonderful.
Yes. And they're so honest. They talked about Liz's parents did everything for her as a child and even into adulthood. They take her, they do the shopping, they do all the things, Sherry. And so in her marriage, she is not he's doing the adult and she's more childlike, where she wants him to do, because that's the way she was raised. And so when we talk about bringing your whole self into a relationship, know who you are. You and I talk about this ad nauseum.
Yes.
Ad nauseum. So I said to Mike, what made you choose Liz? Mike said, well, honestly, first it was just about the sex.
Really? Oh my goodness.
It was great. And I love that we're able to talk about these things without judgment. Oh yeah, Mike and Liz went in. It was great. So I'm going to invite them back on, send them the link so that you and I can have dialogue with them.
That would be wonderful. Oh my goodness.
They're out in Pittsburgh. So that was so good.
Oh wow.
So he said coffee, but be right back, but listening. And he said he found me one day. The algorithm popped up in his thing on YouTube, and he just been watching me ever since.
Off to the races.
Yes, off to the races. They did email me one day to introduce themselves, because I kept calling them ECBCST.
Right.
Oh my God. So, my darling, we did get to talk last week, and that was my bad.
You guys, you hear that? And
so I'm going to give you the space.
After she called me to interrupt our day, then she texted me back that morning and was like, and I'm like, we got a whole lot of balls we're juggling. So that whole morning had been rearranged just that quickly.
Yeah. I've had several conversations with my sister just yesterday alone, Cherie. Mm-hmm. Maybe about 4 or 5 different conversations with my sister friends. One sister friend, I said, what do you need? And she says, I need a good, decent man. Decent man.
So, okay, but good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. For those of you who don't know me, no.
Wait, hold on, because you were so spoiled. Hold on, Miss Spoiled. Cherie Syfax is a mother, wife, entrepreneur, podcast host, and co-owner of Booker's Restaurant and Bar in West Philadelphia. She is living proof that a Black woman can have it all and do it with style, class, and grace. This is our weekly Love Is segment. Cherie and I have been doing this now for 3 years. I also want to tell you, like I told David Alexander, when I asked people what is it that they enjoy about this platform, they loved my weekly contributors.
Oh,
they talked about
wonderful.
you. They talked about Dave, the people that come on.
Because David always giving them a history lesson. I love
it. But you're always having the raw, truthful conversation about love and marriage from your perspective. Right?
Yes, and it's just my perspective. And that's why I tell people, don't be arguing in the comments. That's my perspective. And you're not going to change my mind just because you're arguing in comments. Anyway, because I'm living it. My grandson is up too. So when people ask that question, and it's interesting that you asked that, because I wanted to discuss, like Tracy and we tried to be not busy this week because our California grandkids are here, but he was being honored at Uplift Solutions event. It was transforming justice conference. So they do a lot of work with formerly incarcerated individuals, and they were the ones that, when it snowed really, really bad, their group was the group that went out because they gave people livable wages, and they plowed Philadelphia out of the snow when the unions were having some challenges. So Atif Bostic is the president, and then Brown from the ShopRights. He is kind of like
Jeffrey
his
Brown.
Jeffrey Brown, yes. He's kind of like his brainchild, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But they do so much great work. So Tracy one got honored, which was great. Larry Miller, who's over the Jordan brand, who's from Philly, who
Oh, I know who he is. I've had several conversations with him. Yeah,
had a murder case. He was one as person that spoke. And then last name Wilson, he does a lot of work around men and mental health and marriage and all that. He also was there. So it was a really great conference. On Tracy's panel, of the 4 gentlemen, I didn't ask the one who didn't. Of the 4 gentlemen, 3 of them had on wedding rings. And I wanted to ask the question. I didn't, but Tracy also said, things don't happen without my wife, what have you. And the other gentleman agreed. And it would be I'd be curious to know, like, of the men that evolved, a lot of them are married, but women, some of us will not choose them because of their background. So when we're asking and saying, hey, we want marriage, I know we do, but are we open to receiving men kind of in any space, like, or are we prioritizing certain things that may be keeping us limited? Because when I tell you, these brothers have come home and dealt with the challenges and the hurdles and become successful, all of them give back to the community.
Were these all formerly incarcerated
Absolutely.
brothers?
Yep.
And of the 4 of them, you said 3 were married.
Yeah. So the other gentleman just didn't have on the ring. I didn't ask if he was married or not, but of all of them, so every single last one of them has their own business, has some type of nonprofit that's doing stuff in the community. I mean, just really good people. And I believe there's times when we overlook people to try to get to the person or the thing that we think is the thing. And we may be overlooking, because there are more people out there. There are people out there. It's a whole bunch of people.
So stick a pin, Sherry. Stick a pin. This is a Jamaican thing. Stick a pin. Let's talk about us and why. And when I say us, I'm talking about us women. What is it within our makeup that says I'm not dating someone who is formerly incarcerated? I'm not there, and you understand what I'm saying? Like, we're looking for.
They talked a little bit about
6
stigma,
degrees, etc. Go ahead.
They talked a little bit about stigma, and there is stigma related to men who have been in the in the criminal justice environment. They talked about that, but and I think that there is just this perception of what good marriage or what a good man or what a good husband looks like, and usually being formerly incarcerated isn't on the list. However, because I'm in that space, from the president of the PD Green program, who I'm on the board, Jeff Abramowitz, he's white, he's formerly incarcerated, and is a really amazing person, to and married. So it's just, I think there are moments where there's times for us to maybe reframe kind of what we're looking at. I think one of the things for me with Tracy was how much he was community engaged. Like, I had dated all types of people. I was in the medical device industry, so I dated doctors,
judges. You dated all kinds of people.
Was a lawyer. I dated judges when I first got to Philly. And I don't know not one of them that's as community engaged. Yes, people write checks, but writing checks and kind of like giving with your full, complete self, like the organization Tracy has put together, New Wealth Alliance, that's all formerly incarcerated men that he's kind of mentoring. Just the amount of people that we hired, even before we got the restaurant. Tracy's his construction business was built on formerly incarcerated people who now are out. He'll show me people that work for the city. He's like, oh, I hired him when he first came home, or I hired so-and-so when he first came home. And these people are now people that have worked for the city for 20, 25 years. So I just think that what we need to be thinking about is character more than maybe these these things that we believe are have substance and that really, really don't. education is important. I agree with that because people, you know, you want to be stimulated, intellectually stimulated. You want to, you know, all those things. You know, but is that a deal breaker? You know, like if our spouse doesn't have like a degree, is that a deal breaker?
Right. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Their grandchildren, they're gonna be who they are. Leave them alone.
Okay.
Leave them alone. They're fine.
And so just thinking about, I thought about that more yesterday from a standpoint of how stable homes and having a good partner stabilizes a lot of men and they're able to do even more. But in preparation for this morning, I just was curious of how often are we as women, when I say we, I'm talking about, you know, educated professional women, how often are we, you know, saying, hey, I'm not lowering my standard just because I'm entertaining someone who, you know, is formerly incarcerated. And so just a thought for the morning, you know, because of what I know of the young men that I know that are married, that are formerly incarcerated, they're amazing husbands from the outside. All of them that I know are really, really great husbands. I mean, you think about Desmond Meade in Florida that is running for governor.
Alexandria says Charles Dutton was someone who was formerly incarcerated. She says, if you don't know who that is, it's an actor. Google him and be surprised, right? I want to read this to you. Bobby Carr said, because we asked him, you know, what was happening with him. He said, I was so in love with this woman for a couple of years. I did all to please her. However, she felt marriage was not for her, left and never came back. All that happened in the 70s. It took me years to get over it. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot, Bobby Carr. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, so, you know, so you know, that is a conversation that I think should be open. And I'm not saying date anybody. I'm just saying maybe be open to all types of people, and you never know where, you know, where love will find you.
And there are a lot of people who are incarcerated that did not do anything with wrong place, wrong time. Come on, let's talk about it.
There are. We have a really great friend, Ron Simpson, and he is one of Tracy's really good friends, and he does a lot of advocacy work. He just got married. We were in Hawaii for their wedding, 2 years ago, I think it is. Actually, him and his wife are formerly incarcerated, but he was in prison for 20 some odd years and did not do the crime, but an amazing person, big advocate. So, you know, so you have that too. And you have people that did the crime, but they learned, you know, they learned.
We tend to throw away people when they make mistakes. I don't understand that. We want all the grace in the world, but we tend to just throw people away. We just throw people away. Oh my God, you're been to prison. I can't have a conversation with you.
What
would my people think? Yes.
What are my family gonna think? What are people gonna think? You know, those things. So, you know, I encourage people just to be open. And I'm not saying overlook things or anything. You know, Tracy and I have the same marriage I would have with anybody, the expectations and of communication and of loyalty and all those things. It does not change just because he's formerly incarcerated. But I believe I've grown so much as a person, and I believe that we have a rich bond because of all the things that, you know, we're able to do together. So that's one thing. The other thing is, I was on a panel and they were talking about like real estate and different things. And one person said, what was the one thing that you did that you think kind of set you on a certain path? And I had to think about it for a minute, but I was like, I got married. And there is so much that you do as partners that you can do alone, but it's definitely different and more, it can be a different pathway. And so so, you know, I'm advocating marriage today.
Listen, I'm advocating marriage all day long. And Essence says, but we must consider their road after they are released from prison. You're seeing them when they're up. I've seen my friends try to hold their man down after jail, but they need work on themselves. To her point,
they
absolutely
do. There's time, and look, I need work on myself too. And there's times when I tell Tracy, I think that, you know, you can talk to somebody about that. You know, because people revert to what they know or whatever. Yes. So I don't I don't dismiss that. I don't disagree with that. I would challenge that again. I've dated men that have never been to prison that need a lot of work.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think there are times, not always, but there are times when we have this different expectation of maybe someone who has had challenges where we don't even look at it. The guy that I dated forever, the lawyer, had esteem issues because his parents were military and he saw his mom when his dad was away cheating on his mom. And so he just never had faith in the union of marriage. And so he was always cheating because he just did not have faith nor did value that.
Wow.
You need to get to work on that. And that's a person, lawyer, all the things.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But we wouldn't tie, oh, he needs help because
he's a lawyer.
What we see as hurdles. But he needs help. He's never going to be at this juncture in his life is never going to be in a marriage that is not going to come with whether it's infidelity or lack of valuing it, because growing up, he saw his parents dysfunctional in that way.
Wow.
So again, we put a little bit different responsibility. It's a whole bunch of people trying to hold men down that have never been to prison.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not, you got men that have esteem issues. You've got men that, just can't get it together for whatever reasons. But we will tie the fact that they're incarcerated with why they're having challenges. And that's just not always the case. Sometimes they're having challenges because they're having challenges.
Absolutely.
So
and I always say, go look into childhood. Liz said it. She says, my parents did everything for me. They never allowed me to grow up, even as a grown woman. I saw my sister push back on them. I couldn't do it. She said, I just retreated and allowed them to be who they were, which then hampered who she became as an adult in her marriage. Right. So we have to look at those childhood, the way we were raised. And sometimes I got to say this, and y'all forgive me, sometimes you were raised well and you're just assholes. You just want what you want, you do what you want to do, and you don't treat the person or the people around you well. One of the questions I was asking men on my Facebook page yesterday was, what is it about us women?
I saw that.
Some of us are well-degreed, whatever, yet you would not choose to marry us. Why is that? The feedback that I'm getting behind closed doors is because we're nasty. We don't know how to talk to people. We don't know how to treat people well. So all those degrees and, looking good on paper and well-dressed, they said, we look at the way you talk to the waitress. We look at the way you treat your parents. We look at the way you treat your children. All of that is different.
But I'm always going to push back because I see people that are not degreed and that are not dressed well, being nasty and I don't think that, I personally don't think that it's just, there's this, it feels like we get a stigma of people that are degreed or whatever, but I see them coming to the restaurant and I don't think that they're degreed and they're nasty. So I just think sometimes
but that was a question I asked,
right.
from them. So that was the answer. He has beaties in my ears because I said they were assholes, but it's true. It is true. It is absolutely true. And there's so much going on with us that we need to navigate. But somebody asked if you were coming with us on our beach trip. I don't think you got grandchildren in that house. So,
Oh no, they leave on Saturday. They leave Saturday night. I'm trying to see if my day will allow it, but yes, I'm trying to come.
Yes. Girl, it's gonna be so much fun. But let's Laverne says, it's knowing they will be stable and stay out of jail for me. My son's father was murdered 3 weeks after the second time, so there was never a chance to see if he got it right the second time.
Right.
Yeah. And some of these stories do not end well. Let's be clear.
Yeah. Right? Absolutely. Yeah. I am not saying be at the prison walls just waiting for somebody to come home. I'm not saying that. I am not. But I am saying be open to, once you find out someone's background may not be what you thought it was, still be open to what that can look like. So that is more my message, that there are a lot of people out there that want to be partnered and they just get they don't even get considered, maybe because of their background. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, be open. That's it.
Yeah, and let's
That's
be
all.
clear. Because I remember my husband saying that the amount of women he dated that said he was too nice, they needed someone to push them around. Literally said to him, I need
Mm,
somebody to push me around and make me feel like I got to do it. That's a part of their trauma. Why would you want a
right.
man to push you around?
Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
wish the Joker would.
Girl. But yeah, so and the other piece, and a woman that was on the panel with me, and she's really, really successful in real estate from Philly as well. She, once I said getting married, she actually agreed. She was like, yes, because me and my husband together, we were
Mhm,
able to do these things. And granted, I had properties before Tracy and I got
mhm,
married, but the things that we were able to exponentially do together,
mhm,
I don't believe I would have been able to do by myself,
mhm,
whether it was capacity, resources, finances, knowledge, know-how,
mhm.
um, fear, uh,
All of it, Cherie.
all of it. I
All
just
of
wouldn't
it.
have, yeah, I just wouldn't have been able to, I don't think I would have been
Mhm,
able to pull it all together to do the things that we've done together, like at
mhm.
all. So I just think that, there is a good thing in partnership. And
Yes.
so for men, there's stability there.
Mhm,
For women, there's also some stability.
mhm,
Um, and just our whole South Africa experience, like that
mhm,
coming full circle, because I wanted to be in South Africa in 2015 and it didn't work
mhm,
out, but
mhm.
to be partnered and it work out, it's just, and people do stuff by themselves all the time. But I'm just speaking, for me and what
Mhm.
we've been able to build together.
As human beings, we're not designed to be alone. We're designed to
Correct.
be with each other.
Correct.
So I love the whole big talk about I don't need a man, I don't need a woman, I can do this all by myself. Yeah, no. We need each other. There's something to be said, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I remember when I got sick and my husband looked at me and said, sit down, turn everything off, we'll figure it out. I'm going to, and watched over me for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Made sure I was, there's something about that. There's something about knowing somebody's in the house with you. I slept downstairs on a
Yeah.
recliner. He was sleeping on the sofa. He was
Yeah.
right there. Look at Tracy running
But
behind children. He was right there on the sofa so that if I woke up, he was like that's the love. What did he say?
I'm like, no, everybody just saw you in your glory.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Listen.
No, yeah, and
Alexandra says most men, women are holding the next person they're dating responsible for the behaviors and outcomes of the person they dated before them.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that. I agree with that. Um, yeah, so having that, even for me, I think even for me, I'm more fear. Like I'm not. I don't. I'm not. I don't move in fear. But there's certain risks that I probably would not take on, but
Mhm,
for being married, and
mhm,
those risks have turned into big reward. And so I'm
mhm,
glad that we've been able to do that. So yeah, we've grown. I mean, and people talk about that is the
mhm,
life hack for Black folks getting married,
mhm. Yeah.
combining that the ability to grow and move together.
And
So,
those who understood the
because the
value
tax
of
code is all
marriage
set up for married people. It is.
And those who understood the value of marriage outside of our culture worked so hard to keep us so separated. She ain't no good. He ain't no good. Like, yo, if you work together, if you put your two nickels together, you can do so much more. So
Yeah.
much more. And when
Right.
one is sick and the other one, or you have fears, there are nights when I curl up into my husband, I'm like, babe. And he listens to me and he goes, it's going to be all right. We'll do this. We'll do that. Like, you work together.
Yeah.
When you're
Tracy does
by
that too.
yourself trying to navigate it in your head and writing
Mm-hmm.
it out, it's so different. It is
Because
so
I'm like, hey,
different.
I don't know if we should do this. He's like, baby, we got this. We going I mean, there's just moments we're having those conversations. That's for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I would encourage, and again, you don't have to even, it doesn't even have to be someone who's formerly incarcerated. I would just encourage people to be open. Um, I just would encourage people to be open to maybe partners that did not fit into their idealistic
Mhm.
definition of what they maybe thought
Mhm.
their partner would
Mhm.
look like. And that's
You think
everything from age to race to height to weight. I mean, it covers
All
the
of it.
gambit. Yeah.
All of it. Do you know
Yeah.
how many of us missed the one that we really truly loved because we were so concerned about height,
Yeah.
race,
Yeah.
all the things?
Yeah. 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 So definitely I would say be open. That would be my word of the day, my
Yeah, be
phrase.
open.
Be open.
Yeah, Sharon says, Marguerite, that was my father. To everyone else, he was great. I was the youngest. I fought for my mom, siblings, and nieces and nephews. And she says, it feels good knowing you don't have to do it. And I'm sorry. Then she said, oh my God, y'all are talking. She says, I'm fiercely independent because of it. And then Joanne Kemp says, everyone has to take their own personalities into account. Uh, do
You
people
do.
find flaws and expect others to be their ideal instead of building in together instead of being right?
Oh, Laura, I was in South Africa. We were in South Africa um for our anniversary 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah,
But we
yeah,
are trying to be official South
yeah,
Africa.
yeah. Listen, you'll get there.
Oh
They'll
yeah.
let you in.
Oh yeah. They
You guys
will.
will be all right. You'll be dual citizens. Listen, it's
We have to be
beautiful to be a
citizens.
dual citizen.
It is.
Um.
Yes, it is.
Uh. So yeah, I thank you, my darling. How can people find you?
At 5021 Baltimore Avenue tonight, we have, of course, this Wednesdays live in the city. There's so much going on in the city. It's great. The kids went to the fan fair yesterday at Lemon
Mm,
Hill, and
mm,
it just feels like there's energy in the city. So I love this. FIFA. We have a watch party on
mm,
Friday. Haiti
mm.
and Brazil. That's going to be great. It's at nine
Okay.
o'clock, so we're going to do like a reverse happy hour,
Mm-hmm.
starting at 9 o'clock till whenever the game is over.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see. And then it's Father's Day. Juneteenth is also
Yes.
Friday.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we're I think we're catering or we're doing something with the African American Museum for their block party. And of course we'll have dinner, all the things for Juneteenth. So, for those of you with offices, tell them to come to Booker's to
Mm-hmm.
patronize
Yeah.
us
This
on
weekend is,
Juneteenth.
yes, and then Sunday is Father's
And
Day.
Sunday
My
is Father's
God.
Day. So we are going to be on roller skates, but it's gonna be all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
All right,
5021
my
Baltimore Avenue.
5021 Baltimore Avenue. Go
Yes.
help Tracy because I see him running behind them children.
Right. And the funny thing is, Tracy be gone all the time. They're like, "Where's Pop? I'm like, Lenny is right here."
Cause he the fun one. See,
I
he the
know.
one that, yeah, I know. I
But
know.
also, I think it is also he is. Children want stability. Like he is the stable one, and he is the comforting one. He is So
Yeah.
they sense that male energy that
Mhm. Yeah.
is protective. So yeah.
All right, my darling. We may see
Alrighty.
you because there's a lot going on.
It is.
Oh, Marguerite says Sunday is also the Juneteenth parade on 52nd Street. Booker's gonna stay busy.
Yeah, it is. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
Yeah, we
good.
got a lot. We have a lot going on in West Philadelphia,
Yeah,
and I love
yeah,
it.
yeah. That's awesome. Laura says that's nice. I might come through on Friday. It sounds great. Thank you, my sister. We'll see you soon. Love
All
you.
righty.
And if
Everyone have
and
a
if you can
wonderful day.
come on Monday, let me know.
Okay. Yes, I
All
will.
right,
I will.
because I will not
Okay.
be on the air on Monday. We'll be on the beach.
I
Bye.
I I understand. Okay.
Bye, honey. Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye bye. Um, that was this. On the mornings when I'm like, oh, that's just like, babe. Do you know what time it is? I was like, I know. I gotta get up. I know. I know. And I was looking for something in the living room, and then I came down to my space, and I'm looking in my pictures. My husband had taken a picture of my legs while I bent over to pick up. That man is so crazy. He has more pictures of my legs. It is hilarious, but he's a leg man. And Sunday's the Juneteenth parade. All right, let's see. Let me let Joel in. All right. Good morning, sir. Good
He has more
morning.
pictures of my legs. It is hilarious. But he's a
Okay,
leg
you
man.
got.
And Sunday's the Juneteenth parade. All right, let's
Okay, I
see.
can see you,
I can
Joel.
see
You
you,
gotta turn
Joel.
that
Gotta
off.
turn
Whatever
that
it is
off.
that you're
Whatever it is
watching,
that you're
because
watching,
I
because
can hear
I can
myself.
hear myself.
Are you
Sorry,
laughing?
I was watching you.
All right,
All
let's
right, let's
see.
see.
I hear an echo.
I hear an echo.
I have nothing else playing.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. I still.
I still.
I'm just
It says
closing
It
Joel
says
everything
Wilson's
out.
Joel
device
Wilson's
is
device is
struggling.
struggling.
It literally
It
says
literally says
your device is
your device
struggling.
is struggling.
Log out and log
Log out
back
and
in for
log
me,
back in for
Joel.
me, Joel.
Okay.
All right. Bye bye. Joel Wilson is the founding member and president of IBB Investment Group LLC, a diverse group of progressive and business minded African Americans who work together on various investment strategies to ultimately pour wealth into the Black community in Philadelphia. Joel Wilson is the son of an entrepreneur. Of entrepreneurial parents with a mother who ran the family accounting firm and a father who works for a major healthcare organization. He has become a lifelong entrepreneur. Um, the Juneteenth celebration. So let me go back over here. It keeps saying Joel device is struggling. Well, we're going to shut that down because Joel is not here. Let me let him in and see. All right. I'm hoping this is better, Joel. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Okay, I do not hear the echo now. Praise the Lord and pass the mustard seed. Welcome, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. We've been having conversations about relationships and what makes men choose the women that they choose in their lives. Like, what do you seek in a woman? I know you just got married. What, 2 years ago now?
Right. 2 years ago.
Okay. So what made you choose your wife? What were the qualities that she had? Because the man wants to talk, but we don't give him an opportunity to talk. You know how we do. What
Yeah.
made you choose Lisa?
So my wife actually brought this topic up to me. She said you were talking about this, and I thought about it yesterday, and I was actually going to write something out, and I did the man thing and forgot about it. So,
Can you
but
go put it on the page for me, please? Please.
I,
I
I,
need
I
more
will,
pictures.
but I'll give you a quick short version. So
Mhm.
I think like when men date at different ages and at different stages of their life with different intentions. So when me and my wife actually met, the stage of my life I was at, I had gone through a divorce about 10 years prior, and I already had kids. So I told her, and I told her like from the gate, because at that point I felt like I wanted to be very upfront
Mhm.
with whoever I was dating, just because I didn't want any headaches.
Mhm.
So I told her I didn't want any more kids. I never want to get married again. And her response was, she felt the same way. So from the beginning, it was, I think, a level of comfort for both of us. And then we didn't have no expectation. So then we just started dating and getting to know each other. And for all the folks who are like against the coffee dates, well, ours was like a coffee date. That was, and I think we both were like, we're not spending a whole lot of money on the front end. I don't know this person, I don't. And what was comical is that we had a series of dates over a couple years in which we were trying to do some things that might have been a little significant, and it was like small catastrophes, but instead of it being like turning on each other, we just bonded more, laughed at it, and we just got to know each other better. So when you can travel out the state and run into situations and both look at it the same way and laugh at it, it was I think reaffirming for us, and she's about to walk downstairs right now.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay, you.
Lisa.
Hi, Andrea. Good
Morning,
morning. I'm
honey.
headed out for work, so carry on. I'm gonna jump on at the top.
Bye, honey. Bye. All right.
Yeah, so
So when did you decide? What were the qualities that Lisa had that made you say, you know what, I think I'd like to marry this woman?
so I'll tell you this. This was funny. So prior to meeting Lisa, I had, my talk with God. And I was like, God, I know I'm never getting married again, because I had this list. I had this huge list. Like, and like one of the first things I said, well, Uh, Character was important, integrity
Mhm.
was important.
Mhm.
Looks looks was no longer the top tier. In my
Mhm.
20s,
Mhm.
30s, looks
Mhm.
really really high.
Mhm.
And one of the things I said, just because and oh, she had to understand or have an appreciation for Black history and culture, because I just could not,
Mhm.
because it's such a part of me. I just couldn't be around somebody long
Mhm.
term who, if I said miseducation or Negro, they'd be like, "What is that?" It
Yep,
just wouldn't
yep.
work. And I was
Mhm.
like, I'd rather, and this is going to sound a little crazy because some people
Mhm.
may not understand about marriage, but marriage in many ways is a legal partnership, and
Mhm.
partnership implies business. So one of the things I was on my list was that I'd rather go into business with somebody and let me see how it works there, because if the business fails, it's easier to get out of a failing business than a failing marriage.
Mhm. Mhm.
you know, you
Mhm.
you can mitigate the loss from a business.
Mhm.
You can't really mitigate the loss from a marriage, with the exception of a prenup.
Right. Right. And not
So
to
I had
mention the emotional toll that,
yes,
because I've been divorced. It'll wear you out.
yes,
Mhm.
and if you throw custody in there,
Mhm.
it's it's enough to make you want to jump off a bridge.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So I
Mhm.
had my list, and so as we were dating, you know, as we were dating, I finally got, I don't know, I hate to say years because she'll be telling me I'm wrong, but some years in, I came to realize that we would be better married. Like my whole checklist, without talking to her about it, we were doing it because, like, even on a business thing, we were in an investment club together. I got to
Mhm.
see how she was dealing with money. One
Mhm.
of the things she did too. Now, this was like her Casa Sose move, and when
Mhm.
she did this really, like, I was thinking about it, but I was like, man, it's crystallized it for me. So
Mhm.
I went I travel I travel to conferences, like tech conferences.
Mhm.
So this one time, I left, and I still was a bachelor, so my house wasn't in the best shape. I come back, this chick had came in and cleaned my house. And I was like, "Oh my lord."
So you were doing the bachelor thing that my husband was doing. This house was, oh my God.
it,
She cleaned the
it
house.
it just didn't have it doesn't have, for many men, I'm not going to say all, but for many
Mhm.
men it just doesn't have the same priority as some of the other things that you're
Mhm.
doing. And
Mhm.
when you do, get with someone seriously or get married, that focus changes.
Mhm.
Before, like right now, I'm about to buy a what is it, an awning for the front of the house,
Mhm.
and I never cared, about it. It still works. The water's not falling on you. It aesthetically, it don't look the best, but
Mhm. Oh,
my
you and
wife,
my
she made
husband
her
are the
little
same people. Lord have
she
mercy.
made her little comment, and then my neighbor, his wife made a comment, and so he went and found it. I said, listen, if you find it, no problem. I knew Lisa already wanted one, so
Mhm.
so you're motivated to do stuff like that, things that you otherwise wouldn't do, just because it's not as high
On the
a
priority list.
priority when
Yes.
you're by yourself. Oh, let me
Mhm.
say this last thing. So this was the so I had already came to my decision. I did my cost benefit analysis because I'm still that
You are
business
such a
person.
man. You did
You
your
know,
cost benefit
I
analysis.
did. I was like, between us, it was funny because at the time between us we had seven, three, six. We had between us we had 10 bedrooms, right? We're paying for, mortgage payments,
Mhm.
but we was always together. So it was like we only sleeping in one bedroom, but we paying for 10. So I'm just going through the stuff like that,
Mhm.
and at that point I'm like, I'm decided, yeah, I'm ready to get married. But
Mhm.
I was. carrying a lot of bills,
Mhm.
and I was like, man, I knew the type of ring that I would get, and I was like, it's at least about a year out for me to be able to afford it. So one day, and I'm not lying, like what I'm gonna tell you, this is the guy's honest truth. One day, my mother calls me and says, Joel, I need you to come see me, which is normal, because
Mhm.
if I don't see her in a week, she's calling me to tell me to come see her.
Mhm.
So I went over there, and my mom has this bag of jewelry, and she pulls out. She says, "Look at this. What do you think?" It's her diamond ring that my father gave her, and I was like, "Wow, that's it's nice. Do you need me to get it valued or whatever?"
Clean of it, yeah.
She was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And so then she says, "Here, I want you to have it." I'm like, "What are you talking about? You want me to have it?" Because I'm the youngest child. So
Mhm.
I'm going down a list. Why aren't you giving it to this person? Because listen, the youngest children out there, we catch it. We catch because I was like, you ain't putting me in no like bullseye. These people ain't coming after me. So I ran down the list and she
Mhm.
refuted everything I said. She said, "Boy, I want you to have this ring." And so when I left there and all the prayers I had said to God, I was like, "So God, is this you taking away all my excuses?"
Yep.
So it was sort of fate. I went and got it a praise. And one day our famous, because I always go to Atlantic City Memorial
Mhm.
Day. So we were down Atlantic City, and I always go out in the morning and go walk, and she sleep, and I get coffee and donuts. I come back, I put the coffee down, and I put the donuts down, and I'm like, "Yeah, your donuts in the bag." So she goes digging in the bag, and she sees this ring, and she's like, "What's this? What's this?" And so it was at first she didn't believe it or whatever, and it was, and yeah. So I
Aw.
popped the question, and she said, "Yeah." So we
Mhm.
happened to have to come back to see her nephew in the city. He was
Mhm.
performing, and her sister was there and different folks. So she started showing off the ring. She was trying to be coy
Aw.
about it. People were like, "What's that?" So yeah,
Aw.
we got married.
Yeah, yeah. Would you say that being married the second time around is more beneficial to you? Do you feel like you're a different person, or what does being married the second time around do for you?
So this is what I say. I was married twice, but I only had one wife.
My husband says the same thing. You are like the same people. What is that? What is say
that
more
life
about that?
experience, that life experience. Because if you read biblically, what a wife does, I've
Mhm.
only had one person that I got married to that actually has been my wife,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I value that, and I appreciate it.
Mhm.
And when I can look back now and say I should have never got married the first time. I mean, I can
Mhm.
clearly see that it was a bunch of stuff. So you know, uh,
Oh my God, if
at
you
this
don't, I
point,
feel like I'm talking to my husband. The conversation is so similar, so similar. In fact, his there were people in his family going, "Boy, don't do that. I don't care. Don't
I
do
could tell
that
you the
thing."
same thing. I could tell you the same thing, and you know, I didn't have enough of the maturity and wisdom of what a getting married really was at the time. I was like 30 when I got married.
Mm-hmm.
And if I did, I would have just pulled out. And one of the things I try to do now, if I have a young man that I'm mentoring, and he's just trying to date seriously or intentionally, or just trying to learn about it, I will try to just share some of my experience. Everyone's got to make your own decision, so I
Mm-hmm.
can't do that for you. But just trying to give him some insight, like
Mm-hmm.
if you're not getting this in your relationship,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably not a good and healthy relation. and,
Yeah.
and what I like to say now, people, when you see the person with the uniform on and the badge and the gun, that clearly tells you that this is a cop. So they wear the uniform, they tell you who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of women out here today, they're wearing uniforms, that doesn't match what you want in a wife, a mother for your child, and all that kind of stuff. So you need to pay attention to that.
I need you to put that on my page. I need you to put that because I need us to hear this. We are wearing uniforms that don't match what a man is looking for. I have to ask you this, and then we'll get into Juneteenth. I mean, we got time. It's my platform. I can't be on here till Jesus says no more. Who, Joel? Why did you get married the first time despite all the warning signs?
So, and this is funny, this sort of goes into your previous conversation about um, marrying for folks who have credentials. So, I think when I got married the first time, I leaned heavily on credentials, and I thought credentials matched character and dignity and alignment with the family I grew up with. And I can tell you it doesn't. It doesn't, not at all. And as a man, listen, I would marry a woman who didn't even graduate high school, who has good character. You know why? And let me tell you this. You know why? Because if you got good character and we can build together, I will get you through high school, through college, and a master's. When I married my wife, she didn't have a degree. She got a master's right now.
You preaching. You are preaching. You are because one of the questions I asked was, what is it that makes you not choose a? Because a woman will have the house, the degree, it's the character. If your character is wanting, if you're nasty, if you don't talk to people well.
If I can't have peace, then all that's for naught. I don't care about none of that. And listen, I'd rather live in a small house with peace than a mansion with chaos.
Baby. Oh, you preaching today. Small house with peace and a mansion with chaos. Yes. You got to post. Thank you, Lisa, for dragging his attention to this, because this is the kind of stuff that a mansion with chaos. Yes. My husband says the same thing. The same thing. The same thing, Joel. The same thing. That verse is, come on now.
Life experience.
It's in life experiences. So it's never just about the degrees and how polished you are. It really is about what do you bring to the table in terms of character? Can I come home and be able to sit and be in peace? It's so important.
Let me throw this at you. This now, two things that are important. Number one, has the woman either been raised by a man, or does she have a significant man in her life that's similar to a father figure or a respected uncle or something like that? And the reason that's important, if that woman does not know how to respect the man that she grew up with, that when that man sort of puts his foot down and says something, if she can't submit to that, she will never submit to you. And never may be strong, but I'm like a 90% chance she's not going to submit to you. So that, if you do find that, that's, you at least need therapy, because you got to work through this.
And what is this thing, Joel, about I'm not submitting? Do you know my husband has never raised his voice to me, but I can tell from his tone, I done went past the point of no return, and I turn my little tail around and sit down. People are stunned when they see it. Like, wait, yes, because I respect him. I love him and I honor him. So when he has had enough of my foolishness, okay. Because that man will show up every day to make sure I have everything that I need, want, whatever, no matter what. So if I am doing something that's disrespectful, and he will call, he says, listen, we need to talk about this. You did this, and this, and I don't want you to do it again. Okay. And I apologize. I apologize. It's important.
I'm going to tell you something. A woman that is willing to apologize will attract a husband 10 times faster.
Wait, let me write that down. Wait. Oh, hold on. who is willing to apologize will attract a man 10 times faster. Wow, Joel. Oh my
And
God.
I got one last thing I want to say. This is
Okay.
from my mother. And then we got to
Uh-huh.
talk about Juneteenth.
Uh-huh. We're gonna talk
so
about Juneteenth.
so when I and so I was mad. I was early marriage. So this is about a year and a half ago. And so we were just talking about my parents got married at 17. So let me say that 17. So they were married like 60 years, something ridiculous. So my mother said to me that people would sometimes try to come and get in her business, and they would be like, he ain't this, talking about my dad. He ain't this, he ain't that. So my mom would listen, and then my mom would respond, well, listen, I know my husband, he don't like X, Y, and Z about me. So I'm not, I'm not just jumping on him because I know what stuff he don't like about me.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like, I get
Mm-hmm.
it. That
Mm-hmm.
is important to me. So
Mm-hmm.
if someone comes talking to you about your spouse, you need to think about the stuff that your spouse don't like about you.
How about that? How about that? And make sure you take away take a can nobody. I remember people come, well, he's shorter than you. He's a nerd. You taller. Da 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 da. I said, and I love him dearly. He's funny. He's smart. He makes me feel safe. I was out here taking on the world, doing all the things. I feel safe with my man. And at the end of the day, when I walk into the house, so people just stop. They just leave me alone, or they'll go to him and says, "Well, oh my God, she just seems overbearing." He says, "This is my marriage. I love my wife. We are in this to do like we take up for each other, right?" So
Right.
folks just left us alone and allowed us to thrive and grow. But if you entertain that bullshit when people comes to talk about your husband or your wife, that means you were waiting. You were looking for something anyway. You were looking for something anyway to come in and cause strife. Never let anybody come between you. Never,
Yeah.
never. Oh, this was so good. Somebody wrote, "This is good stuff." It is. This is. Woo. Yes, Charmaine.
I'm not
You
the marriage guy. I'm the investment
no,
club
but
guy.
Joel, you're speaking to what men won't say, and I love it. That's the part. Like we did, peace. You out here creating rock. I see. Oh my God, you ain't nothing. You this, you that, and blah 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 blah, blah and cussing out the man. And he's like, "I'm coming home to this. I'm coming home to this. Is this what we
Right.
coming home to? Well, I got
Right.
to be me. Okay, then be you and be by yourself then, because we are the same way the woman wants peace in her house. He wants peace in his house too.
Yeah.
It's important. Thank you for saying it. Whoo! Marguerite says we seeing a different side of Joel today. Janelle says, and that's why you submit to him. You trust him and you're safe. I am safe. I trust him with my very breath because I know he would give his very breath for me. And not because he said it, because of his actions. So if I said this on my page, Joel, we can live off of $30, live with $30 or 3 million. We know how to ebb and flow with life. People think that it just all has to be up, up, up all the time. And when life hits and when it gets rough out here, oh my God, you ain't nothing because you're supposed to take care. I've seen friends do that. You're supposed to take care of me. I saw one friend, her husband bought her a brand new car. It had 2 freaking miles in it. You know what she said? It should have been a BMW because all my friends are driving. Ungrateful wretch.
Andrea,
Ungrateful.
Andrea, that exact story you just said, that was the first person I married.
I think you need to sit down and talk to my husband. I do. I do. It took my husband 19 years to get married again. Literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
I
took me
can't
20. It took me 20
believe that
years.
you bought my friends are driving a BMW. We need to be in a bigger house. That man was working 3, 4 jobs, tired as a dog, just and helped her to finish school. And when they got divorced, she was so like, "Oh my God, I can't believe." And then tried to turn the children against him. The children couldn't see, moved away. Children couldn't see. Just chaos. And so now the children are grown and all over the damn place, can't get themselves together. Conversely, now this is a friend of mine. Conversely, she watched me, right? My sons, my grandchildren had a birthday party this past Sunday. My ex-husband, me, his ex-wife, his second ex-wife, and his ex-girlfriend. We were all in the same room with my husband on behalf of the children because we as grown adults say the children are important. We all sat there and kikied. Oh my God, how you doing? That's adult. That's being adult.
So I'll tell you this, Andrea. Like one of the things I love and value too with my wife is that she actually showed me that I could have normalcy again.
Yeah.
And so like
You need to talk
she
to my husband. Damn it.
she she's divorced as well.
Yeah.
So I have I have a decent relationship with her ex husband. We were just at an event on Saturday because her daughter, their daughter, had a
Mm-hmm.
baby shower.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I see him, he daps me up. Hey,
Yep.
Joel, blah blah blah.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
different stuff I've done for his daughter, and
Mm-hmm.
he will come and step to me and pull me to the side. And say, Joe, I just want to thank you for what you've done for my daughter. I'm like,
Yeah.
no problem. And in my head, I'm doing what, like if my father was still living, I know he would be looking at me like, boy, that's what you need to be doing. You saw what I've
Yeah.
done for you and your siblings, so you need to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And when she needed a job, I got her a job. She needed,
Mm-hmm. That's my
I could probably
husband.
say this now, for all those folks who's in Delta Sigma Theta, I wrote her a reference letter getting Delta Sigma Theta.
That's amazing. That's my same thing. Same thing. And that's maturity and growth and being able to sit in the same space. My husband and ex-husband were sitting at the birthday party talking to one another. How you doing, man? What's going on? Everything all right other than the normal aches and pain. Like grown people.
Right.
Because my husband takes care of our collective children. My ex-husband understands that he over here doing what he's doing with his son. So let's just make sure we do it. But that, let me tell you, but that's grown people business. That's what grown people do, Joel. Right? We don't. Oh my God, I can't be in the same room with this one and that one because so and so and so and so. Nope, 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 nopity, nope. So I'm hoping that our.
I understand, and when if you're
What
going
about your
through it,
ex-wife though? Are you able to do the same thing? Because my husband
no.
can't do it with his ex-wife. Yes, right. My husband. You need to talk to my husband. He can't do what I do with my ex-husband with his ex-wife. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
No, no.
Because there has to be a level of growth and maturity and when the children are graduating from college or children are going to school or son number two needed a car. My ex and my current husband got together and bought him a car. Like, that's grown folks
I've never
stuff.
been able to see my kids' graduation since my younger son graduated kindergarten.
What? Yo, what's up? So I need us women to have an honest conversation about how we show up when marriages end, how we show up when relationships end. I'm not just saying it because I want to say it. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing the vestiges of this and the craziness that the toll that it takes on the men trying to raise their children is not because I'm just all for the men. I want us to be better so that our children will reap the benefit of it, will absolutely reap the benefit of it. This is crazy. And Father's Day is around the corner. Let's discuss.
I've never had a Father's Day with my sons. That's one of the reasons I had to develop a coping mechanism, and one of them was I go down the shore to have peace.
Wait, how old are your son?
How old am I or my sons?
How old is your son?
My oldest son is 25, or
You've
yeah, 20, yeah, 25. He'll be 26
you've
this year.
never had a Father's Day with him?
Mm.
That just brought tears to my eyes.
Trust me, I cried plenty.
Let me tell you why. Ooh, that brought, oh, I'm sorry, Joel. That hit me in my core. When I got divorced and it was Father's Day, go spend Father's Day with you. Go enjoy. Dad calls. I want to take the boys on vacation. Go. It was so important that the children were able to have both sides. Yeah, that hurt my heart. That was, I cannot imagine not having spent a Father's Day with Lisa. He got to come to the shore. I'm sorry, girl.
No, I'm fine. I've already. I'm going. I'm just. She's going to be with you, and I'm going to my timeshare.
Oh, you got to come hang out with us, man. This is, yeah, so, what the hell? How have you been able to navigate with that level of hurt? Not, so if I'm assuming, and tell me if I'm wrong,
Therapy.
yeah. Because
Therapy,
if you don't see your
compartmentalization.
child, if you have not seen your child one Father's Day, what has the rest of the child's upbringing been like? How often have you been able to see your child?
Very little. Very little. For when we first got separated, I was in court a straight 10 years, and I spent 180 grand in legal fees. I had so many in 1 year alone. I had like added up the court cases. I had like 100 court hearings in a year. I was put in every court system, both in Philly and in New Jersey. So it was one of the most ugly divorce. Not really divorce. The custody was just it was just atrocious. So I had to survive it. I mean, I've had years in which I don't even really remember things because just the level of stress and survival that I was in, and I'm just grateful because my parents, especially my mother, she just intervened so that I wouldn't go under. And then I had my adopted godfather, my best friend's dad. He was reaching out and just constantly giving me help and advice because there was times I didn't even want to go to work, and for everyone knows I'm self-employed, so if I don't work, I don't make no money. So I remember he called me one time and he was like, "Joel, how do you feel?" And I was like, "I feel terrible. I can't get out the bed. I'm just lamenting, going on and on." He says, "Joel, think about this. Think about being as depressed and everything as you are, but you don't have no money." And when he said that, I said, "I got the message."
Yeah.
And I got up and started and went to work. So I've had to work through all of this, paying mortgages, legal fees, just trying to survive. So that's another reason why I really wasn't trying to get married
Get
because
married.
I didn't want to unburden all this on someone. And
Somebody
and,
else,
and
right?
Lisa was just, over time, it wasn't like the first
Hmm.
day I was like, but over time, as we got closer, I was able to share, and
Yeah.
she was supportive.
Yeah.
She was, supportive. She had empathy for me, and so yeah, I just knew that this was the right person for me to be with.
Uh, someone asked, so hold on. Someone, Essence says, my husband didn't get Father's Day either until they got away from their mothers. It is very common. Now that they're 18 years and older, I make sure he has days with his girls. But your son is 21. So what has happened? What has happened with your son that made him still not want to spend Father's Day? Because we have to be
Well,
careful about the traumas.
yeah. So I was one of the things that I was told is that once your kids, once they get to be 18, things are going to change. You're going to get them back. And so that happened a little bit with my older son. Um, However, just the level of poisoning was so great. Like my younger son, never like I last saw him in 2014. I've never seen him again. And then my older son, we were connected up to sort of recently, but some stuff came to light where he was trying to manipulate me, learn behavior from his mother, and I just wasn't going to I wasn't going to allow it. I wasn't going to go do it. And the way I sort of look at my life now, I've given a good 20 years of love, time, money, energy, trying to be there for my son. So listen, folks, when I die, I feel fine going before God because He knows what I've done. But these next 20 years, because that's about all I can hope for as
Yeah.
being, I'm gonna be in my right mind. I
Yeah.
want to have a good life. I want
Yeah.
normalcy. And
Yeah.
my wife has given me a window to that, so I'm embracing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew. Laverne says, I have a question for Joel. Are you an advocate that men get individual therapy throughout or when needed?
I've been getting therapy. Like I originally had to start getting therapy when I this first started happening. Actually, me and my wife were in marriage counseling together, and she manipulated that. So I
What?
definitely believe in. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So I definitely believe in therapy, and so the whole time, but men have to get to a point where they feel like they can do it. It's not and it's hard getting a good counselor. It is hard getting someone
Yes.
that the
Yes.
cultural competence and the competence
Yes.
in the area of need that you have.
Yeah. Yeah. Charmin says, thank you, Lisa, for loving him through it. Yeah, Lisa had to be special for him to be in a space where he said, I will do this again. Oh my God. Yes, the poison these kids are told. Whoo! Whitney Love said, "Oh my God, my husband never celebrated Father's Day. I'm so glad we're. I know you came on to talk about Juneteenth, and we're going to talk about it, Joel. But you have no idea how fortuitous this is. That Father's Day is a few days from now, and we just never going to. This conversation is so necessary." So necessary. My husband never celebrated Father's Day until we got married, and my children being to honor and celebrate him for being there for us all as a father. Marguerite says we appreciate your transparency. Um, Lisa said he meant that he and his ex-wife were in therapy. Oh God, yeah. Lisa is on here. Lisa on here, honey. Um, uh, Janelle said it's going to take some time, but they also have to be willing to work through with you. You and I am. So I'm going to
I'll say
introduce.
this
I'm going
one
to introduce
last
you to my
thing.
husband, so you and he can have a conversation. The things that you
I'll,
two can talk about is just going to be mind blowing. Mind blowing.
I'll say this one last thing. So my oldest son, when we reconnected, and this is over the last like 3 4 years. So number one, just on the financial side, I've I've stepped in to invest to try to get him to finish college.
Hmm.
And and when I first started trying to do that, he was only receptive to my money, but not my advice and strategy and plan.
Mm-hmm.
So the money was just blown. And then
Mm-hmm.
he had zero accountability. Here, I'm paying your rent, literally. Your rent was more than my mortgage payment, and you were unwilling to show me your grades. So that's the kind of stuff I dealt with. And then I put me and him, in therapy, and he was very unaccountable. He wouldn't do what the therapist, advised. And then and I saw the pattern once like if it was something he's supposed to do and he didn't do it, he would then come up with some type of way to try to argue with me or attack me and accuse me. So it fell apart, and then he just stopped coming to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done so, like I've again, I sleep good at night because
Mm-hmm.
I've done. I
Mm-hmm.
have I have done. Anyone who actually knows me knows that I've done. And I'll share this one last thing. I've never talked like this before in person, but my pastor is my lifelong friend, and behind false accusations, I had a 4-day criminal trial. My pastor came and was a character witness for me.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Joel, you've
Yeah.
literally been in a nightmare. I want you to talk to my husband. You've literally been in a physical nightmare. I wish you every bit of joy, love, hope, warmth, everything that could come your way on this side of your life. You're right. You are so right. My husband says I need to have this kind of this kind of peace that I've never had. We're 16 years in, and let me tell you, it feels like 2 days because he's like, I need this. Thank you very much. I'm going to enjoy it because he too went through so much, such similar past. It's crazy. It's crazy. But the deep honesty that came from you, which is why I say to us as women, we have to be introspective. We can't keep looking for what we want out of a brother. What are we putting out in return? What does that look like? What are we exhibiting to them that makes them say, I can't do this? Peace. Joel says, I would rather have peace in a small house than chaos in a mansion. Oh, I'm gonna quote you all day today, like all day. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Mike says, mine didn't get to the level of criminal, but oh my, the false accusations. It's important. Um, yeah, Marguerite said this needs to be a podcast topic when you get back to podcasting. You're absolutely correct. Joel, I just can't thank you enough for this. Now let's get into Juneteenth at Salem Baptist Church. Woo.
So, so for those who don't know, Salem Baptist Church of Abington is having its fifth annual Juneteenth celebration. Now, this is significant for several factors. One of them is that Salem is actually a historic church. They're in their third century, founded 1884, and it is the largest black church in Montgomery County. They sit on a 10.2 acre campus,
Mhm.
which is pushing the development of your religious life, your family life, your community
Mhm.
life. They have a school building. They have a school there for autistic children. They have a gym that has a POW league. They have a full football field, football teams,
Mhm.
Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts.
Mhm.
Um, Dynamic pastor, Pastor Marshall Paul Hughes Mitchell,
Mhm.
Howard graduate, and not only is he phenomenal just on uh, preaching, but he brings real business world experience that allows him to see things
Mhm.
differently, actually business and political things.
Mhm.
So he just built just a phenomenal campus up there. In the
Mhm.
school building is a movie theater. So
Mhm.
IB Big, we're going to be doing a presentation on investing. Both myself and Jimmy Williams, our
Mhm.
club's vice president,
Mhm.
we're going to be speaking from the theater. The theater is built inside
Okay.
the school building. It's going to
Mhm.
be over 30 vendors
Mhm.
up there. I know Hakeem's bookstore is going to be there.
Really?
Um, Coffee
Okay.
Cream and Dreams is going to be
Coffee,
there.
cream, and dreams. Yeah.
It's going to be a beautiful the lineup of DJs.
Mhm.
Uh, the Scratch Brothers, which is two young brothers, middle
Mhm.
school young men who can scratch with the best of them. They're going to be there
Mhm.
performing.
Mhm.
Um, just incredible. POC, who is
Mhm.
a radio personality and a
Mhm.
personality who's been doing a lot of the emceeing at the different debates, the recent political season. Black Voters Matters is going to be out
Mhm.
there. It's just going to be incredible. Several politicians. Now, there's one big name politician who I don't know if I can say, but I'm
Mhm.
just telling you, there's a
Mhm.
big name
And
politician.
Marshall can bring the big name politicians because he's a politician to his core. He knows
Eh,
the inside and out of
eh,
politics. In
Let me say
fact,
this
he will
about
tell you
Marshall.
he helped to write the first what's that
Charter school law.
yes. Mhm.
Charter school law.
Mhm.
But check this out.
Mhm.
Marshall was a chief of staff to a congressman when he was 24 years of age.
Yes. Yes. So he knows the politics and he knows the people. So I would not be shocked. I'll be there. I just got to get off my bicycle. I got to ride my bicycle in the morning. I'm going to shower, and then I'll be there and spend the day with you guys at the Juneteenth at Salem Baptist Church. Can you tell them the address for Salem, please?
Google it.
I believe they're
It's,
on.
it's in
Christ, I can't listen.
it's
You
in
think I live out there?
Abington.
You would think
It's very easy to find. Salem
It is. It's easy.
Baptist
It's easy. They used
Church
to
of
be in
Abington. And
Jenkintown. They're in Abington. Woodland Road,
correct,
2741
they're in
Woodland
Abington.
Road.
Yes. And one big thing, this is really nice. So IBB Investment Group, we are sponsoring a Black Wall Street virtual tour. So we have a booth. You come up, you're going to be able to experience this. There's close to like 100 different Black Wall Streets, not just Tulsa, Oklahoma. So we're going to have a book that you can purchase called Erase that profiles a bunch of them. But then we have a virtual tour. So just with your phone, you'll be able to click in a QR code and look at the different Black Wall Streets and watch a video on it. So come on out. We have a game, a Black History game you can play. You can win some little prizes from playing it. It's going to be a very engaging experience.
What time does it start? It's from what time to what time?
On Saturday is from 12 to 5, but we do have an 11 o'clock coffee and conversation. So you can come out early, get some free coffee from Coffee, Cream, and Dreams. And then our presentation is going to start at 12 o'clock in the theater. So it's a jam-packed day. It's so much stuff, different DJs, different speakers. You know, we have some youth group performing, some African drummers are going to be there. It's
It's a huge campus. It's a huge campus. So parking, there's plenty of parking.
10.2 acres. And folks, it is Black owned.
Yes.
Black owned in Montgomery County.
Yes. Yeah. Tracy Hurst Purdy says, wow, great conversation, guys. I was fed today. Thank you, Joel. We'll see you on Saturday. We'll do Juneteenth on Friday. I'll see you on Saturday. We'll make it work and do what it has to do. I've decided I'm going to spend the whole weekend just shoring up my cultural knowledge and feeling the love and support because, baby, so much is going on. Thank you, my brother. We'll see you on Saturday, okay? And thank you for sharing all that you did. I appreciate you. And go write that on my post.
Andrea.
That's all right.
I wasn't playing.
Pastor Waller will say it all the time. He says, I'm sitting there talking like I'm in my living room and all the stuff comes. It's a part of my gift. It's okay. You're going to be all right. You were safe in this space. But I need you to go on my page and write some of the stuff that you talk, these gems that you dropped here. Please go drop them there so those women can see. Because we keep thinking it's all about us and what we want and how we feel. And it takes two, right? Men have feelings too. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye-bye. Oh my God, what a show! That was so good. Mike and his wife came on and talked to us. Joel came on to talk about, Juneteenth, but ended up sharing some of the trials and the traumas that he's gone through as a father and a husband. And, and all, because I literally posted yesterday, if you follow me, Andrea Lawful Sanders on Facebook, you can't follow me because I can't take any more friend requests. Go follow me on Facebook and you'll see, because it's public, the post that I put up asking men to just share what are their thoughts and feelings around who I'm not sharing my. I need to get my husband on here so we can talk. I think my husband and Joel need to talk too. And one of the things that my husband says all the time, that as men, we have to be careful not to jump from the frying pan into the fire. I'm grateful that he waited, for the years that he did before he got married again. And Joel waited the years that he did. He said, because when you just jump from marriage and then you're going to another, he said he's always very concerned about that. Like you gotta cleanse and find your space and know who you are. But we talk a lot about women and what we feel and what we think and what we want and what we know. We don't allow the men to have the voice and the space. So this morning, men had the voices and the spaces to talk about what matters. Now, women, I want you to absorb what they're saying. Don't just always push back and say, but we go through. Yes, we go through. Yes, we do. But you have to remember, when things don't work out, it takes two to tango. The choices that we make to lay with this one and lay with that one. If you lay down with a dog, you're going to rise up with fleas. And men have similar issues as we do. They go through traumas. They're not allowed to talk about it. They're not allowed to talk about it because they're seen as punks. They say, like, all the things. Like, we have these thought processes in our head that says that men should just always buck up and not feel. So then you want them to talk to you. Then you want them to give you their emotions. Well, you told them that they can't. You said it. Lisa said, I did see the post and men didn't really comment, sadly, but please make sure that your husband does, because he really, oh my God. Janelle says, this really was a great show from Mike and Cherie. Right, Joel, fantastic. Life is a balancing act. Absolutely. Absolutely, Mike. I'm going to call you Mike from now. You're welcome, Bobby Carr. I'd love to have a dialogue with you too, Bobby, about, your experiences. Um, whew, just it's been a lot. Alexandra says, today has been amazing. Thank you everyone for sharing. Men go through stuff too. Yes. Yes, Jane Spitfire. They're only human, but we want them to be all the things. We want them to be robots and produce and, to take care of you and make sure you're okay. And then it's like, woo. Oh, Andrea Walker says, I wish some of us could be so honest about our relationship. Very good. That makes my day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. He says, you can call me. Call me if you need someone to talk to. Call me, satisfaction guarantee. So my husband and I have been married for almost 11 years next week, and can't find the landscaper. And so I'm out there weeding. He can't go out there because he's allergic to everything and Jesus, and his whole skin would break out. Wife that I am, I don't go, well, you better find somebody to come, because I called the landscaper. I texted him. He's not showing up. And so I guess after ice, all the things are going on. So I said, let me just go out here and save us some money. When I got finished, it took me 2 days and I still got to go back out there and finish the rest of it. I said, you realize I just saved you $200 to $300, right? He was like, come here, baby. And we laughed and we talked. But you have to be willing to do things for yourself. It doesn't always come down to spending money. A little bit of labor will not harm you. Will not harm you, right? Thank you. Gene Smith says, great and insightful show. I love you all. Eee! Everyone needs a playlist or a motto song for comfort. I got a whole bunch of them in my head. Oh, you were thinking, call me Nia? Oh, you can. Oh, wait. When I call you Betty, and Betty, you can call me. You can call me. Yeah. Oh, a man walks down the street. He says, "Why am I soft in the middle now? Is that the song?" Now that my road model is gone. Sharon says, I wish I could respond, but I'm driving to work. My heart goes out to Joel, hoping he will develop a better relationship with his children. It was important for you all to hear this, because oftentimes we think it's just all the men's fault. The men just don't want to deal, and the men just don't care, and they just walk away. If I tell you how many phone calls and conversations I've had with men before I got married and while married, I've had one brother come and sit in our house and cry, talking about how he just tried everything to see his children, how he, had been to court until he couldn't go to court anymore. And he's like, I give up. I want to see my babies, but I gave up, and cried. The phone calls that sometimes I was like, just talk to my husband. Talk to my husband as a woman. And they were like, but how are you so good with your husband? How are you so good that when you got divorced, your children were able to still go with dad and do what they needed to do? I said, because I put my big girl panties on and I grew the hell up. It was never about me. It was about making sure that my children, at the end of the day, were not traumatized by the decisions that my husband and I made when we decided to get divorced. That's important. Whew, whew. So as Father's Day approaches, resist the urge to, oh my God, I'm the mother and the father because my worthless daddy, you chose that worthless daddy, quote unquote. And oftentimes when we're talking about these things, it's because we're angry that the man didn't stay with us. Oh, preach, Andrea. We're angry that the man didn't stay with us, and we're going to teach him a lesson. And that lesson is keeping their children away from them. And then we get mad and feel soaked when the children grow up and hate me because, oh my God, you kept me away from my father. Or the children doesn't want to spend time with their father in Joel's case, in so many men's cases. So many. We've got to be better. We've got to grow the hell up. We just do. And the same way we're asking if men are going through therapy, we need sustained therapy where we really sit with ourselves and ask the pivotal question, why am I this way? When the man says, I can't live in the house with you because you're too goddamn loud, you're always making everything into an argument. This is just who I am. Well, baby, then you're going to be by yourself. You will. So let's figure it out. And then we know how to spit. We know how to, we keep saying we want a bad boy, but a bad boy is one who knows that he's going to play the game and do what he wants to do. The good men are used and abused and thrown off to the side. But we want the bad boy. When the bad boy treats us like shit, then we, oh my God, see, men ain't good. What do you want? What do you want? And you're willing to be introspective to do your work to figure it out. To figure it out. Right? See here, Jane says, my niece detests her son's father. I told her that it is a bad idea. She will regret it later as her son ages. Oh my God, I'm going to move 500 states away so that my ex-husband can see the children. Then I'll tell the children their father ain't no good. I'm saying things that you all do not want me to say in these Wakandan streets. But if you're going to watch those of us with marriages, right? I have seen sister going out, dating somebody. She loved the man. The other sister says, well, I'm the one that's more successful. I think that man belongs to me. Take the man, marry the man. Then the man 17 years later is like, I don't want to be with you anymore. Like all kinds of craziness. We have to be good people as best as we know how to. So when you out here stealing your sister's man, or you're stealing your best friend's man, or we have to be introspective. What is it about us that makes us want to sit in these spaces and do these kinds of things? And when we make those mistakes, own the shit and say, I can be better. I will be better. Because human beings, we make mistakes. I'll be better about this thing moving forward. This was what I was going through. But we sit in the hurt, we sit in the aggrandization about how we just said what we said and did what we did, and then you look up and you're 65 and you go, but I never got married. I don't have a man. I can't keep a man. Do your work. Do your work. Lisa says, just because the relationships failed, women need to understand the failed marriage has nothing to do with the children. Stop keeping these children away from their fathers. Absolutely. Yep. Yep. Whew. My father chose not to have a relationship with my sister and I. We live 5 blocks away, so no excuse. My mother never kept us away from him. And that's when you get when you get the daddy that don't want to do what the daddy, then you say bump you, right? When the daddy don't want to do what the daddy's supposed to do, there are many instances of that too, Alexandra, where men just don't want to be fathers. My father's father, when his mother died when he was 11, said, I'm too cute to be a father, and turned my father over to his mother's family. So his uncle and an aunt raised him. And then as he got older and wanted to meet us, I'm the only one that didn't meet him. They said if he saw me, he would have probably fainted and died on the spot because I look just like his ex-wife, my grandmother. But there's some men who just don't want to be. So my father decided, since his father wasn't a father, he was going, you go look at my social media page. He is a father to the end. So people make the decisions. Childhood traumas can inflict harms and things on you that turn you into the adult that you become. We have work to do. Yeah. Mike says my father's father was a runoff. Yes. Jane says, selfish is in all humans. Monitor it not to destroy you. Yes. Yep. Yep. Jane says, I went through a divorce 2 times, but never tore down fathers of my 3 children. Very good, my sister. I wouldn't do it either. I was just like, well, listen, divorces. When do you want your babies? Come get them. Let's figure what. So when we have parties, family parties, now it's the grandchildren. There were so many family members there from all walks of life. Everybody show up because you see, the ex-wives have children for you, the ex-girlfriend have a child for you. So we all bring all the children together. We don't differentiate and we don't say stepchildren. We say the children. My ex-husband adopted a young man from one of the women that he was dating, had a child with her. And I don't know if he ever knew his father, but my ex-husband put him through college, paid for him to go to college, paid for him for his first car, and had his wedding at his house. Hear what I'm telling you? Paid for his wedding. So who we choose, we have to say it. The people don't just drop up. Who are we choosing to mate with? And if you don't know the person, wear a condom or use some kind of birth control, because then you end up with a situation. But you got to be with people mature enough to say, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. I remember being told, I thought someone in my husband's family thought my husband was paying for my children. I said, no, they got a father. And I'm paying for their college education. And the fact that you would make that assumption just looking at me says a whole lot about you. So my husband didn't have to put out a dime, because when I met him, one was going into college and one was going into high school. He did not have to put out a dime for either one of them. And if I needed it, he would have done it. But the fact that there was an assumption made that he was paying for my children's college, I know my ex-husband like, what the hell are you talking about? These are my, this is what we do over here. We take care of what belongs to ours. But again, the choices that we make, they're not always good. But when they're not good, then you pivot. You pivot and say, this is what I can do. My ex-husband can text me and say, Andrea, nobody makes oxtails like you. Can you just season some oxtails? I'll send you the money. Can you buy the oxtails and season me? Word, send me the coins. And we're all mature enough to say, all right, I said to my husband, so-and-so is sending me coins. Do you? And his wife comes and picks up the seasoned oxtails. Because again, the children. And so the children get to see examples of what it requires. So my son can be married. We have, out of the, however many children we have between us, one son is married, 2 sons are married. I think everybody else is just kind of, doing what they do. Right. I said to my youngest son the other day, I know you've been seeing this person for a while. Are you ready to call it a relationship? He said, no, I'm still trying to get to know this person. You all just get up and start dating, and all of a sudden he said, no, we're not doing that. I'm not doing that. He said, you've taught me to get to know people before I declare relationship status. I said, you better come through, my child. The children. Because they see and they hear and they understand. Oh my God. We gotta. Tracy says, my father stayed in a not so great marriage because he didn't want his children to experience step parents like he did. He sacrificed himself for us, and I wish he didn't. And now that you're older, start asking your parents some questions, not in an accusatory way. Tell me about your life. What is it that you had to deal with? Because it informs who we are as parents and grandparents. And learn how to pivot. Don't go, that's the way I was raised, so that's how I'm going to do it. Or that's the way I wasn't raised, so that's how I'm going to do it. Learn how to pivot. It makes a difference. Oh, and when they get remarried, thank you for being a good mom to my sons. Thank you. Thank you for loving on my, like we grown folks business. There's not a you can't come here because you all got to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. So I need my brothers. Thank you to the brothers that called in, Mike. Thank you to Joel for the conversation. Thank you for Cherie talking about the returning citizens who are now married and how we have to have an open mind. Laverne says my dad has younger children. He does not see he can't find them. He would be in their life if he could. But my dad is not a good man or a good father. Child. Yeah, I'm telling you, I promise you, the preconceived notions we have about people because of what we experienced, I would suggest you sit down and talk to them. There's always a story behind the story. Always. 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 Always a story behind the story. And the older I get, the more I understand. The more I understand, I ask questions. I sat down and asked my mother some questions, and then I sat with cousins after my mother died, and I was like, holy shit, this was going on. You don't know. Because people just do what they're doing, and you're like, well, they're not saying, and they just don't care, and they don't want to be, and they don't. Nope, nobody, nope. All the nopes in nope land. Yes, there's some pieces of crap out here that just don't care and don't want to do. Lisa said it's a good show to have some of the men on. I'm working on it, Lisa, because I need them to know this is a safe space. I was so heartened that Joel felt safe enough to have this conversation with me this morning. I appreciate it. Yes. Children watch parents' actions. It affects them in the future. It does. It absolutely does. So you're like, well, my child don't want to have children. My child... Well, daddy didn't do this, and this, and I don't want to be stuck with this as an adult because I saw what you went through, mommy. Children don't, it's not so much about what you say, but it's what you do. What do you put up with? What are the things that you're sitting in that you know was not good for you? Now you're on this side going, oh my God. Oh, look at this. Yvette says, this was an amazing show. I was adopted and never met my father, but I had an awesome foster father. Very good. Yeah. Ha! Tasha, we about to get off the air, girl. You have to go back and watch this. Jane Spitfire says, my adult children scared of marriage. I told them people change. It's just life. Still try to fall in love if you find a decent person. Yeah. I got to get off. It's 8:45. I've been on here since 6:30. Let me go get out of this short dress. And my husband keep running around taking pictures of my legs. But this is us. This is us. I am vulnerable and transparent with all of you just so you can figure out yourself, right? What does it look like? What are you doing? How does it feel? What are the decisions that I am making that is impacting the relationships that I have or don't have, or impacting the relationships that I truly want to have? You got to go inside, y'all. Stop looking outward. Who am I? What is it that I am giving, or what am I doing? Am I too kind? Am I too forgiving? Am I too... Name the things here. Go write the stuff down. What are the common denominators with all these people that I've dated? And I'm talking to men and women now. What is the common denominator to all these people that I've been dating? What does that look like? Man, I got to get off of this show because it's 8:45. Y'all got to go to work. I need y'all to go to work. Go to work. I love you all so much. This episode of Mornings with Mother is officially over. I am Andrea Lawful Sanders. I'll see you.